Last week, the landscape of this entire franchise changed again. Nothing is certain going forward. For Mike Foligno's defense, that's a familiar storyline, one that this team and its coaching staff have struggled with since the very beginning of the season.
Here we go! Hurry up!
In fact, the only thing that has remained the same from the very first are Mike's expectations. He and the rest of the coaching staff, hockey operations, and this team's fans expect to win, and from that, they have not wavered.
You know, we're happy with right now with the way that the defense of our team is working. And I mean defense meaning not just our goaltending and our defensemen, but our whole team in general, where, you know, we come into the defensive zone and everyone has an idea of where to go and what to do based on where the puck is, based on the numbers in front of us. And you know, I think our positional play is much more sound than it was obviously early on in the season, introducing a new system. It took time for everyone to kind of buy in. So, you know, I think that it's a compliment to the players that we have. It's a compliment to the dedication that they've provided us, to our goaltending as well. Matt Climby's been really strong in goal, and, you know, Joe Canada's been really strong as well, coming in lately. And you know, our whole defense in general is now playing a much more solid defensive game. I mean, there's going to be some slip-ups here and there, but for the most part, you know, we're really limiting the opponent's chances. And we do a record keeping of all our chances against, and we itemize every chance that is taken against us, as well as, you know, against the opponent. But we also find out what areas we're breaking down in, if there is a breakdown, or what individual possibly could be the cause of the mistake. So we address those issues right away. We're on top of it right away, and that really helps our team because we're able to give them immediate feedback. So that's one of the biggest reasons why I think that, you know, defensively we're much more sound than what we were at the start of the year.
But it's tough to win when you're not sure what you're working with.
You have, because of call-ups and injuries, you tendency you see different people come in and play and whatnot, but we've had so many injuries. We've had key players that have been out for extended period of time. We had call-ups obviously now. The Canucks recently signed in 2, 3, 4 new players, sending them here. So it makes for an interesting situation where you got to try to, you know, get everybody in a position where they can have success. You want to make sure that players, sometimes they have to play out of position, but you don't want to leave in those positions too long, because they're, at the end of the day, they want to try to make it to the next level, being a whatever that style of play they play. And if you can't have them doing that all the time, it can be very frustrating for the player.
With so many unknowns and ups and downs this season, the team's defense has had some interesting challenges and pairings.
It would be great to keep all the pairings together. But we don't have that luxury all the time. So, you know, as much as we want to keep them together, we keep them together for a number of different reasons. One is they balance each other out. Maybe one's an offensive player and one's a defensive player. Maybe they're both, you know, highly skilled guys that we can put on the power play as well as 5-on-5. Maybe they're 2 defensive guys that we can keep on the penalty kill as well as 5-on-5. So there's different reasons for combining our, you know, the combinations that we have back there. The other times is when we have 7 or 8 defensemen with us, we got to find a way to rotate those players in. We can't, you know, we're a developmental league, and we have to make sure that we balance the winning and the development. And it's always great to develop in a winning atmosphere. So we try to keep that balance going as much as possible. The other parts are, you know, when injuries come up. You know, sometimes it's 1 or 2 games that the defenseman may be out, sometimes it may be longer, and we have to make sure that our defense are ready to come in and step in and play. Having said all that, I mean, that's as much as we can do with trying to keep the units together. Another reason for, you know, having players get used to playing with other players or experience playing with different players is it helps them grow as individuals. So if I'm a defensive player and I'm with another defensive player, maybe that game or that week of playing with this other defensive player allows me a chance to become more offensive and allow him to be defensive. So you kind of explore a little bit more of, you know, yourself, and you try to grow a little bit more as an individual, and you try to develop. And so we're trying to develop all facets of these players because in the end, we don't know what kind of a product we're really going to have, what kind of a defined hockey player we're really going to have unless we take that player and move him outside his comfort zone.
I mean, it's nice to play your own side. There's just certain plays that are a lot easier from your own side. I've been playing more on my offside for 3 years now, so I've gotten used to it. I know guys that are playing their offside have kind of gotten used to it. There's just certain plays maybe that you can't take risks on even though you're in your offside. It takes a bit of getting used to, there's no question. But again, just with having to kind of flip-flop back and forth, it's almost good. It takes the thinking out of the game. You're on your spot, you just got to play and do well with it.
Very difficult for some of our defensemen to have to, and we've been predominantly at stretches where we had all left-handed defensemen, and so we got 3 guys that are playing the right wing or the right side that are having to do things on their backhand lots of times. They're having to make plays where it's a little bit more foreign to them, a little bit more difficult. You know what? You try not to put guys in that position, but at the end of the day, you know what? You're stuck. I mean, it's what you have to do. I mean, Matheson has experience. He's played that side, and he's played the right side, being a left shot, and he's adjusted very well. And but still, at times when the pressure's on, when you're getting forced hard on the forecheck, it can be, for those guys, it's hard when you have to end up in your backhand. Peter Anderson, a rookie. I know we had played right defense in Sweden. But on a bigger ice surface, for him to come in as a rookie and have to play as offside, he's adjusted well. And we've used Hunt there, who's also played it a little bit. Vandermeer's been over that stuff. So it's been trial and error.
It can have an effect for sure. I mean, if you're just get used to playing with the same guy, you just know exactly what he's going to do. It takes a lot of the verbal communication almost out of the game because you know what he's going to do. You guys have a feel for each other. But again, because we've been switching so much, it's almost like you now have a feel for everyone. So I know who I'm playing with. If I need to take more of the offensive approach, or depending on who I play with, maybe I'll be more the defensive player. But we seem to, having worked with each other so much, picked up on how each other plays. And I think that's why we've been able to be so successful, even though we've been switching quite a bit.
Whether it's playing their offside, a seemingly unending roster shuffle, or a parent club on the move before the regular season concludes, the Blue Line has kept confident.
Our group stayed pretty close to the same. I mean, we've done a good job. We support each other when we're out there. I think we're a tight D-core. I mean, our partners haven't always been the same. They've been changing a lot due to call-ups or injuries or guys in and out of the lineup. So I think we've done a good job with that. And I think we're starting to feel especially as it's good to feel this way coming into the playoffs here, starting to feel confident what the coaches want from us, what we need from each other, how to help each other out, make an easier game for us. So I think our D-core, we're a happy bunch. We all like each other, and I think that's helping out.